What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Right Side, and welcome to another episode of the Vet Report. The first headline I want to get into is, of course, the Wisconsin shooting. What we know as of right now is that the shooter was a 15-year-old female student. Unfortunately, 3 lost their lives, including the shooter, a student, and a teacher. Of course, first and foremost is the thoughts and prayers to the victims and their families. And school shootings are something that we all should agree should never be happening in the first place. A little bit beyond that, it seems to be a very unfortunate and scary pattern, considering the type of student or suspect and what happened in the Covenant shooting, I believe Tennessee, where a lot of these gender ideology, kids are starting to retaliate on Christian schools, which is deeply problematic and troubling. The manifesto swirling around the internet made the shooter to seem very anti-male, radically feminist. If there's anything to glean from this story, I think it's that number one, school shootings are terrible, and that mental health is a real problem in this country, especially for the youth. The mental health of our youth is something that the country should be taking very seriously. Not that I don't think that they are, but there's a lot of influences going around that surely inflame and ignite certain actions to the public. I think the second thing to glean from the story is that there is now a significant and real pattern of motives between students that kind of went with the transgender identity and attacks on Christian schools. I would glean from that a retaliatory attack, kind of feeling like the Christian schools or Christianity is somehow denying their existence. This is a problem deeply. It's a deep, deep problem. But because this is an ongoing investigation, I am hesitant to kind of extrapolate anything more from the story, just because I don't want to say something and then later down the line be made to look like a fool. And so, until the manifesto really becomes validated and confirmed, I don't want to really speak that much on that anymore. But what really matters with the Wisconsin shooting is that thoughts and prayers with the family, and it's a real shame that we have to go through this in this country. The next thing I want to talk about is the explosion of the story of the New Jersey drones. As someone who lives on the East Coast, New Jersey, initially when the story popped up, I was very apathetic to it. I kind of rolled my eyes like, whatever, this will pass. But it really hasn't. It's stuck around, and in many cases, it's gotten worse, which is very infuriating to me and problematic to the whole system. You, as a government, can't have this many conflicting stories when you're talking to the public. You can't, in one breath, say that the government has no idea what it is, as they said for a long time with this story, that they don't know what it is, that they haven't found a drone with this type of technology. It wasn't a hunting drone. It wasn't a commercial drone. And it apparently wasn't their drone. But they could swear that it was safe to the public. Well, how do you know that? How do you know that it's safe to the public, but you don't know all those other things? It should be the state's number one priority to protect public safety, especially in these types of cases. If you don't know what it is, the state has full responsibility and duty to find out what it is for the sake of their citizens, to put their minds at ease. Because if I flew a drone somewhere and the state said, we don't really know what it is, they shoot it down. Absolutely, they shoot it down. And so the problem when the state tries to make sloppy kind of explanations or story narratives for a story is that you allow space and oxygen for conspiracy theories to come to light. Conspiracy theories come into existence out of a lack of transparency. The citizens are trying to fill in the gaps on their own because the state just is not filling those in for them. This is a complete fumble by the state. By New Jersey, by the federal government, by state and local governments if they have any information that they know of. What it seems to be is one of two things. One, I've heard that it's Chinese drones, which would not surprise me considering that Joe Biden, after what happened to the Chinese spy balloon, is the single most spineless president I've ever seen. Or two, It is state or military drones searching for radiation, either waste, but radiation, looking for nuclear radiation, or testing them for searching nuclear radiation, perhaps for a dirty bomb scenario, because they would really kind of use these drones for like the city urban environments, but you can't really get good readings from a city like New York as it currently is. And so what you do is you kind of use it on other kind of rural and suburbs. I don't know how much validity there are to these claims. And quite frankly, it doesn't really matter. What matters is, to me, the blatant hypocrisy and the blatant contradictions of the state, both the state level and the federal level, which to me shows a very clear either A, lack of trust in the public in terms of handling them with information, or B, almost a kind of condescending kind of, oh, you don't need to worry about it, put your head down and keep living your life, which is ridiculous. These drones, a lot of them are flying very low. Low enough for homeowners to be like, hey, that's still my property low. It's ridiculous for the state to kind of talk to its citizens like that, or to treat their citizens like they're less than, that they shouldn't have these concerns, especially when you tell them to not act that way because they have it under control, but they can't tell you a damn thing about what's going on. These contradictions should scare everyone. They should tick everyone off. It's really unacceptable. I hope we get answers soon, but do I think we'll get answers soon? I do not. I think this will drag out as long as the operation in which they are doing goes on for, and then at the end they'll be like, oh, we had this person, that we fired do this, under the radar. We didn't want, this to happen, yada, yada, yada. Something like that's going to happen. So the New Jersey drones, it's ridiculous. The state is really putting their cards on the table in terms of how contradicting and hypocritical they are in terms of the statements to the public. I don't think that they will be pressured to do anything until what they are doing is over, and then they'll just fire someone and blame it on them. But you know what? We'll see as more information comes to light. New Jersey drones, states is a bunch of hypocrites contradicting themselves every day with every single statement that they make. And I hope that we find out what's really going on relatively soon, but I don't think so. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about this week is the House Continuing Resolution. This bill was kind of released a couple days ago, and my lord, it is catching the entire internet on fire right now. It's 100 or 1,500 pages. It's ridiculous, and everything about this bill screams corruption. Especially, well, first of all, number one, it's 1,500 pages. Second of all, it is being proposed 6 or 7 days before Christmas, when the debt ceiling is, I believe, on the 20th. It expires. This is completely ridiculous. And it's a blatant move that says to congressmen and women, you either vote yes on this pork-filled bill, or you spend your Christmas not with your family, but with Nancy Pelosi and your fellow DC swamp members. It's disgusting. As someone who tries to give Mike Johnson the benefit of the doubt as much as I can because I want him to make the House work, this indefensible. This is beyond disgusting. It's beyond anything resembling a non-corrupt system. In the bill, there is a 40% pay raise for Congress members and exclusive healthcare benefits to Congress members. The amount of just absolute filth and fat and rot and pork that's in this bill is mind-numbing, and the fact that they want to use disaster relief and the farmers as political, keeping them politically hostage, emotionally manipulating people and Congress members is disgusting. It is vile. It is abhorrent. This is a type of politics that Trump and the MAGA movement is really trying to rid of. really trying to get rid of these swamp creatures who hold everyone politically hostage and makes everything about emotionally manipulating the public and voters. It's disheartening to watch. It really, really is. I hope that it gets shot down clearly. I hope that the vote on this bill is a gleaming indictment of this type of political strategy. It's the worst bill. It's the worst congressional move I've seen in some time. It's what makes it so bad is how blatant it is. How blatantly it disregards how the process is supposed to go. Instead of doing smaller bills and appropriations to really kind of help the people of this country, they pile it all into one 1,500-page bill filled with absolute nonsense, but the 1 or 5% of the bill that's actually good is, like I said, held hostage by everything else. It's disgusting. The Congress should absolutely shoot it down. They should argue it. They should break it into a lot smaller bills, make a simpler bill so that you're not handcuffing the Trump administration in their first year with this absolutely BS bill that does absolutely nothing except for make things worse. Mike Johnson should be primaried. Anybody who votes for this bill should be primaried in 2026. It's that bad of a bill. So the House CR bill, the most pork-filled bill I've seen in some time, a disgrace on the part of Mike Johnson and House Republicans for letting this bill even touch the floor. I hope it gets shredded and replaced by something that's a tenth of the size. Will it happen? Hopefully. I think it might. I think there's a decent chance. I'm really glad to see Musk and Vivek kind of exercising the power that they have to influence Congress this way. And of course, all the Democrats and all the establishment are seething right now, even though saying that, Musk and Elon are making unelected people influencing Congress when every single one of them supports the administrative state anyway, which is a bunch of unelected bureaucrats writing regulations regardless of the will of the people. So House CR, disgusting bill, disgusting strategy, and all around disheartening occurrence. We got to get this out of politics. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. If you'd like to support and help the channel grow, become a member, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay updated with all my uploads. Finally, whether you agree or disagree, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I look forward to engaging with you guys in respectful and thoughtful discussions. With that said, I'll see you guys next video. See ya.